Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for being here. My name is Brian Friedman. I'm the VP of Sales at Lone Vision. This is the third of three webinars that we've done. We've done a couple different on reporting. I'm really excited to be focusing this one on Jet, and I am joined by two folks that are with me. We have Brian Reed, who is the Principal Channel Manager with Insight Software, Jet, and also Karia Collins, who is a Principal Solutions Engineer, also from Insight Software, otherwise known as Jet. And we have a great session for you over the next 30 minutes or so. For those that were with us on the last few sessions, we had a session on Lone Vision reporting best practices. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week we did a session with another partner, Cosmos. And this week, as I mentioned, we're focusing in on Jet. If you missed those two webinars, we do have them on our website. You can go directly onto lonevision.com, go to the resources page, go to videos, and you can see those two prior reporting sessions that we did. Logistically, we are recording this call. So if you do miss it, or anything, you want to revisit anything, you will get a copy of that recording. It also does get posted on our website. And also, you are muted. So please, if you have questions, we want it to be interactive. So if you click on the Q&A box on the bottom portion of Zoom, it's going to open that up. If you have any questions, put it right into that Q&A box. The three of us are going to do our best to monitor that Q&A box and try to address any questions that you have. If we can answer it during the session, we will. We'll try to leave a minute or two at the end also for Q&A if there is. And if for some reason we cannot answer your questions, we absolutely will get back to you to address those questions. So with that, I know we have a lot of content to cover here. I'm going to hand it over to the other Brian. So Brian, it's all you.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here with you. As Brian has gracefully and gratefully expressed, right? Guys, we really, really appreciate you all for taking the time to join us today. You could have been so many other places, but you're here today with us, right? And that's appreciated. But ultimately, guys, we're excited, right? We're excited to have had the offer extended to us from our partners at Lone Vision, to, as Brian mentioned, to be a part of their three-session webinar series. And guys, we're equally as excited, right, to have you all join in today, as mentioned, for this session focused on how Jet Reports, part of our Insight software suite, can simplify and strengthen your reporting process within Lone Vision and Microsoft Dynamics. Again, everyone, my name is Brian Reed. I'm a principal channel manager here at Insight Software on the Microsoft team, and I'll be walking you through the first part of today's session, right, giving you all essentially a brief introduction or reintroduction into Insight Software and Jet Reports. And then, everyone, I'll be handing it over to my senior solutions engineer, Karia Collins, so that you can see some of the Jet tools in action today, right? That's the main reason why we're here today. And everyone, just to kind of briefly mention, I am actually covering for my colleague, Marco Rosales. His name may ring a bell for a lot of you all on the call, but he and his wife just welcomed a beautiful newborn baby into the world, right? So I'll do my best to proudly fill in for him and kind of best guide you all into our demonstration point with Kari in his absence. So let's kind of hop into it, guys. For starters, I do want to give us a introduction into Insight Software right before we get into it. And essentially at Insight Software, everyone, we consider ourselves to be the most comprehensive provider of connected solutions for the office of the CFO and finance teams, right? And essentially what that means, y'all, is that Insight Software solutions are purpose built to help tackle what's known, right, to be a complicated task of getting your data into your hands, of course, but more importantly, in an environment that's comfortable like Excel. And when you do that, everyone, this is what's going to empower your office and your leaders to focus on more strategic business decisions, right? We have a global presence, everyone. We have over 500,000 daily users, and our solutions are compatible with over 150 different ERPs. And for the Microsoft Dynamics or the Lone Vision space, right, that is going to be addressed today with our Jet Suite application led by Jet Reports. So, just a little about Jet Reports, everyone. Again, just sort of an introduction or a reintroduction, right? It's the most widely used Excel add-in for that Microsoft Dynamics users like yourselves, right? And Jet Reports has lived in the space, everyone, for at least the past 20 years or so, right? Helping end users, again, like yourselves, get information out of your Dynamics or Lone Vision system and into a more end-user friendly tool like Excel. So, essentially, everyone, what you're gearing up to see here today with Jet Reports is it's going to be that real-time reporting tool that lives in Excel. It's going to connect directly to your businesses or your Lone Vision instance, and then it's going to enable you to quickly and easily build reports in a place that's comfortable like Excel. And then from there, it's countless, right? With what you can do with your data, you can drill down into more transactional level details of those numbers. And everyone, this is all while eliminating things that we know are time consuming and prone to error, right? Like the copy and pasting, the manual exports, or even relying on replicated data sets, right? So again, everyone, we're going to gear up to see some of these things in action, right? So now I'm going to hand it over to Miss Karia Collins so that she can drive and show us what some of these jet tools would look like. Hey, Karia.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brian, for starting us off. All right. So um, we have some great examples today that I want to walk through to really kind of hone in on what jet reports can do, especially for Lone Vision. So let's start off with a P&L statement that I have here. With Jet, we provide the tools to create accurate profit and loss statements, for example, whether that be for your main company, branches, consolidated entities, and they all come equipped with drill downs for instant detail. So specifically in this report, this is a dynamic profit and loss. This supports individual company levels, so that could be broken down as you can see here. You can replace whether, depending on how your company is structured, you can build in branch or department views. And in addition to those individual company levels, you have the ability to support a fully consolidated profit and loss with automated calculations from underlying entities. And those drill down capabilities into accounts and transactions are able to be seen. So in this um, example here, you do have the ability to bring in date filters. You can choose a specific range, as seen here in our example. You have the ability to break down departments. This is useful for segmented operations. In this example, we're taking a look at departments, but you could segment the data into branches or regions. And you also have filters based on your branch or your department. With Jet, you have the ability to build in account groupings. So you can see a couple of our accounts here. If we take a look at our overview, we can bring in a range of accounts, and those can be categorized. For example, we've got total revenue. It's going to automatically sum our data. The same could be said across our cost of goods sold, our operating expenses, and beyond. Jet is going to dynamically aggregate these subtotals, such as, like I said, total revenue, into our final answer for us. With that, we have multi-entity columns, as you can see in our overview. If we take a look, and each company is segmented out, and then that final column is the consolidated end. So specifically, this report, I think, perfectly speaks to Loan Vision customers in that you can manage multiple entities, say different loan offices, bank branches, or special purpose funds. You could use a report such as this to view individual and consolidated performance. You'll have the ability to save hours every month compared to manually merging exports or even copying and pasting data into Excel. And since this is live from your ERP data, you can trust that it's always up to date. There's always bonuses that you can add in with Jet. We're very flexible. You can add in conditional formatting to highlight maybe margin drops or expense spikes. You can automate this report to be emailed out to monthly team members or cross-functionally. And you can even expand this to include different KPIs like contribution margin or net interest margin. Next, let's take a look at comparing financials across date ranges and dimensions or cost centers. And within this report, we're going to really look at identifying trends and variances for better decision making. So in this specific report here, this is a multi-period, taking a look at month, year-to-date, and quarterly results. Multi-period, multi-dimensional income statement. We've got our dimensions segmented here. And really, this kind of a jet report is going to allow you to compare financials month over month, as we see here, or quarter over quarter. You can analyze performance by business group, by branch, or by department. You can view your actuals, your budgets, plus a very simple variance analysis is built in. This can help users kind of gain insights with their year-to-date and trend data. And again, built in with our reports, you have the ability to change your sheet dimensions. And so we have our sheet breakouts here, depending on dimension. In this example, we've got corporate, events, and sports dimensions. Each sheet represents a different cost center or business unit, if you will. And this can be extended to include things like loan officers, branches, or regions. Again, we've got multi-period columns. And so you've got things, if I zoom in here, you've got things like monthly actuals. In this example, we're taking a look at some August data across, and then historical information in June, July. And then we've also got variance analysis, taking a look at our budget versus actual columns. If you're looking to track profitability across loan types, servicing divisions, or locations, this is a very helpful report in that it lets you quickly assess what's working, where costs may be trending, and with just a couple of filters, you can isolate any kind of underperformance within a department. You can compare it to your budgets and drill down instantly with the click of a button for more answers and details. Anytime you highlight a cell and you see this gray box there, you're able to drill down into the detail very simply here. And then this is, again, all inside of Excel. We do not hijack any of Excel's native capabilities. We simply just enhance. This is a great tool, especially when working with decision makers. Maybe CFOs need to spot margin erosion early, or controllers want to reconcile budget variances monthly. Regional managers might want to see where offices might be overspending, or different departments might be, where they're coming in with their targets. So this is a great example. We can kind of take a step back here, and in this next example, I really want to focus in on analyzing, maybe more from a table perspective. So analyzing loan profitability or GL entries by loan numbers or GL codes. This kind of helps to provide transparency across your lending and financial operations. And so this report specifically is a GL activity detail report built within Jet Reports. This is perfect for drilling into the financial heartbeat of your lending operations. And so you can do things like track your general ledger account numbers and descriptions. You can view posting dates. So you can kind of see here, document numbers and journal batches can be viewed here. You can identify any kind of loan-related expenses, fees, or payables, all the way down to the transaction, especially if you're utilizing your drill down. And this kind of a report will really help you gain total transparency over your financial postings tied to any kind of loan activity. And so this report can pull each journal entry, as we can see here, and depending on your database size, I mean, you can pull these reports within a matter of seconds. If we're taking a look at debit and credit transparency, that can be shown. You can break down your debit amounts, your credit amounts. You can automatically have formulas built in that will calculate your net transaction value per line. And so this is, again, this report's really good for reconciling. It could be anything from interest income, servicing fees, write-offs, and it's in such a simple format as we see here. It could be as simple as a table. And again, you've got all of your filters at your fingertips, whether that be a posting date range. You could create a filter for journal batching that could be towards your loan originations or your payoffs, and your general ledger codes. So whether you're tracking loan servicing fees, interest, withholdings, this report can help you kind of see exactly what hit the books, when, why, with all of your detail. And Jet can also trace loan profitability at the transactional level, so you don't have to reconcile blindly, if you will, or manually trying to dig through journal entries to find this information. Next, I have one more report here that I want to kind of explore a little bit further. So for our last report, want to address kind of tracking purchase analytics, and then being able to include expenses paid by any kind of specific check numbers, um, and just kind of getting a clear visibility into where your payments are being applied to which invoice. And so this template kind of helps to trace vendor invoices, show which checks or payments cleared them, and also provide visibility into expense types, dates, and amounts. Again, all from a simple format. So if you have things such as your vendor and document level visibility, that can be seen here. So you can track your vendor names, numbers, and this is coming straight from that data source. It's a one-to-one connection. Things such as your document number, and then you can pull in full descriptions. Anytime you make a change in your system, that information would automatically get updated into Jet reports. And you can track, again, debit and credit amounts can be viewed at the end here. And you can see exactly how much was paid for your credits, anything that might have been recharged or rebilled around your debits in those occurrences. And again, simply built in would be your filters. You can set in your close at date or your open status under filter, and you can even customize your reports to include check numbers if stored in your document or batch metadata from your data source system. So with this Jet report specifically, you can easily answer things like which check might have been paid to what invoice, and map those fields directly. What market or loan related vendor services were paid last, and were you on time or were you late? It really helps. A report like this really helps with AP procurement teams to be able to kind of operate their information and view their data with clarity. Um, from there.
And while you're pausing there for a quick second, Karia, just want to remind the group here that if you have questions, please use the Q&A box. I've seen a few questions already popping in, and Brian's done a great job of responding to a bunch of them already. So just a reminder to use that Q&A box. Thanks.
Yeah, and with there, that's perfect timing. I will swing it back to Brian, Danny, and team.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So it looks like I think we've got a lot of the questions that have popped in. We've addressed them already, so we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple minutes here. But Danny, why don't we go ahead? We have a quick poll here just to kind of get a quick gauge on the group. If you want to bring that up on the screen. So I'm going to give everyone a second to answer that. And so we're just looking to see if you're interested in learning more about Jet. So take a second and answer that one. Once we're good, we can go ahead and pull that down. Awesome. And then Dan, if you want to just open up the PowerPoint again. So, we hit this one really quickly, just to give you a little flavor for Jet, for those that are potentially not using it. If you are interested in Jet, definitely reach out to us. and we can certainly arrange for a much deeper dive into Jet. Especially for those that maybe are looking for an external tool for reporting, and you saw Cosmos last week, and you're comparing the two. We can certainly also help with that. If we jump a couple slides ahead here really quick, right there, perfect. Yep. So I just want to actually, I think we go back one slide. We have a couple other resources that are available. So first of all, and you might have heard this from me before if you've been on some other sessions, and Danny, I think we need to either go back or forward one slide. We have our super user training, which is coming up in a little less than a month in August 11th through the 14th in Atlanta. So this is a 4-day intensive training. So if you're looking to get deeper in reporting or to get deeper in anything else, super user training is probably the best way for anyone in your organization to become unbelievably at an expert level with Lone Vision. So I can't recommend super user training enough. The second thing is we have our innovation conference. This is going to be, I think, our 7th year doing the conference. It's in September 22nd through the 24th, also in Atlanta. An opportunity to do networking, to get different levels of training, to meet peers, and to meet industry leaders. I can promise you that you or anyone else in the company that might come to this is going to get a tremendous amount of value out of it. And if it's something you're interested in, definitely reach out to us. You're probably getting plenty of emails about it, so make sure you jump on it. The early bird pricing does end in just a couple days. So next week, I think it actually expires. So you can save a few $100s by signing up early. And the last thing I'll highlight before we go to the next slide is this just came out literally yesterday, is we've heard loud and clear from our clients that they're looking for ways for us to innovate. And so one of the things that we just announced is we now are offering a unlimited training and support package. And so you can expect to hear from your account executive over the next couple days to make sure that you understand exactly what that means, what's involved, and how you can sign up for it. But it's a way for you to get your hands on unlimited trainings that we have. And also when questions exist that are outside of the training, you'll also have unlimited access to our support team as well. So that just came out yesterday. We just announced it, really excited about it. And that just came from listening to all of you with what you wanted from us. So if you can go to the next slide. And so I just want to point out a couple other sessions that we do have coming up that I think are relevant. So we have an entire bank and credit union series that also could be relevant to IMBs as well. We have one where we're going to be understanding the concept of risk, and we're going to be joined by Tullis Miller, a partner from Cathedral. That's coming up a week from today, next Thursday at 1 o'clock. And then we're going to have the following month. The next one is a session with Richie May, accounting firm, where we're going to be talking about accounting strategies to improve profitability. And then the other thing to look out for is in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a session on commissions, best practices, tips and tricks along the lines of commissions. And that's going to be on Thursday, August 14th. So again, what we just try to do is we try to listen to our clients to hear what are the things that you are looking for, what value can we bring to the table beyond just the software itself. And so a lot of these sessions, that's the whole purpose. So I don't know if I see any additional questions. Anything else from Karia, from Brian that you want to add before we wrap up the session?
Yeah, I do see one question there from prior. You asked about Jet Reports training. I put an email in that, and one of your answers, it was marco.rosales@insightsoftware.com. And if you can send that question to Brian, and he can connect you with Marco as well, but they can get you the training information. But aside from that, as Brian expressed, everyone, thank you all for joining. Brian and Lone Vision team, thank you all for having us. Again, if there's any questions, anyone, please send those over to the Lone Vision team, and we'll work to get those answered timely and properly for you all. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. And when you all close out of the Zoom session, you're going to get just met with a quick feedback survey. We always encourage any feedback that you have It'll just help us make these sessions better. So thanks everyone for being here. Karia and Brian, thank you as well for joining, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank
Absolutely.
See
Have
you.
a good one, everyone.